thanks for taking the time. We're TraffiCalm Systems. Been around for about 30 years, but really been growing quite rapidly over the past 4 or 5 years because people are just kind of seeing the advantages of our system, which primarily tend to be that we can do retrofittable rings, so we can take like an existing sign and retrofit it with an LED kit. Through Blackstar we can provide the whole sign and everything if you want it, or just the electronics kit. And we also kind of fully outline, so like when you're looking at our stop signs and stuff, we're fully outlining the system with a lot of our competitors will just put LEDs in the corner points. And then everything is super ruggedized, so all of our electronics, the LEDs, everything is all potted electronics, so we can basically take this entire trailer and park it in a lake and it'll still work, because everything can be submerged. We have a great little video of our pushed across RFB systems where one of our tech service guys about 4 years ago took one of these and threw it on the ground in the parking lot, and takes a truck and skids on it. And then we took a bandsaw and cut it in half. Still works.
Wow.
And then we put it in our heat chambers in our engineering lab, and we fried an egg on it. And then we pumped some water into that chamber and turned it down to minus 40 degrees and turned it into a popsicle. It works fine. And then stuck the whole system, solar panels, controller, sign, everything in a swimming pool, just to show it. And the cool thing is that unit that he used to film is still in our showroom back there, and we take it to trade shows so we can show, you can see the skid marks on it, you can see it is cut in half, you can see it's operating a fish tank. It wasn't just like some Hollywood.
Yeah, down here, all that can happen in a matter of one day.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
It's possible.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start over here on. This is our curve warning system. So often we'll have a radar activated sign. So as the vehicle approaches the curve warning ahead sign, it'll start flashing, and then it has wireless communications, radio communications, that will have these units start to flash. If one ever gets knocked down, it's super easy. Each one has a collaborator ID, and you just type in that ID, and instantly it knows where to be in its place. We've sold thousands of these, and a lot of them have said because they're so easy to install, so easy to put up, where they work with other systems where sometimes it takes them a couple days to get them up in sequence and operating. So it's really, really simple system, durable. This whole base plate just bolts right onto an existing chevron. So if you have I've had some districts that just put up new signage, but they had some dangerous curves where they wanted to LED enhance them. They didn't have to rip that down. They could just add it to the existing system. So and we make them in all the different sizes that are available. Any sort of standard regulatory warning. The octagon, the pentagon, the rectangulars, all that kind of stuff. We make a ring for it. And we're really big in trying to ascribe to the manual on uniform traffic control devices. So you'll see on our school zone flasher, we put the yellow up here and the white down below to meet the METCD. And we do that full 60-second hertz when they say what's on, off. I'll see a lot of competitive systems, they'll just pop it, and that's to try to save energy, but it's really not meeting the METCD. So we really try to fully outline it, where again, like on this, or some of our competitors will put LEDs in the corners. We have 80 LEDs in our system. We had one of our signs, like a diamond shape down there near our factory in Idaho, and they got shot with a shotgun, knocked one of the LEDs out, but you could still, we get a lot of fog in the wintertime, I could still half a mile away see that there was a flashing diamond up there. About 6 months later, one of our tech service guys was going by again and saw they got knocked down by a truck, got hit by some sort of vehicle, was lying in the field, still working, flashing, and for some reason that LED that was knocked out with the shotgun started working again. I don't know if it was a pellet or it's just some electronics started working, but we don't warranty that, but we it happens. Yeah. And but we do provide a 5-year warranty, which is typically the longest in the industry. And again, we can do that because we're potting all that electronics, helps with vibration, moisture, really, really durable. All of our systems have built-in real-time clocks and calendars, so you don't need to have a separate, real-time clock added to it. So like this, you can set it up in a school zone, and it'll run just like a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the afternoon when the speed limit is set for schools. And yeah, it's pretty simple to operate there. We have our radar driver feedback signs. It's kind of hard to see, easier to see out the door because of the viewing angle. We have what we call our value series, which are less expensive, that allow, they just have to display the digits. Say your speed, 25, 26, really effective at speeding drivers down. We also have the IQ series that will display the speeding digits, but you can do speed trigger messages like, too fast, slow down, so you don't have the kids, you can set it so it just goes to that, so you don't have the kids going by to see how high I can get the sign to go, Not that I would have done that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying some of the kids nowadays, Right, exactly. But we do have an impact-resistant face. If somebody is, trying to vandalize it, and you'll see our cabinets are all made of metal. They really are built like a tank. We don't use all the plastic stuff that some of our competitors do. Again, these are reasons why we're growing so fast. Is we just build them so durable. It can give you the traffic data, the times of day, and when people are, the speeds and all that kind of stuff. This unit here is officially our marketing department calls it Speed Compliance Kit, but internally some of us call it the poor man's driver feedback sign because it's half the price of a radar driver feedback sign, but it still works just as good at slowing drivers down. What we do is we put this LED ring on a static speed limit sign, and it's super easy to program. All it asks you is what's the posted speed limit. So you move it to 35, that's all you do. If a vehicle is going 35 miles an hour or higher, they come by, they'll start the sign to flash. So it just kind of warns them, okay, I see that speed limit, it's flashing at me, it's only going to flash if I'm speeding. We can hook them to what we call Signpost Flashers. So you're kind of familiar with signpost reflectors, right? So when we can make this in red, the yellow, green, the white, so they'll all go on the same post like that. And when that starts popping with both of them together, it's really, really impressive to see how it can feel. I won't get into too much of all this stuff because I think this is now most of the railway departments that handle this stuff. Yeah. And wrong way systems tend to be more state DOT kind of stuff. But we are one of the leaders in wrong way warning and detection systems. We have over 300 across the country, and we have one of the largest market shares, and it's all due to really reliable detection that doesn't do false alarms. But on this system here, I'm trying to, it's kind of a goofy setup, but I'm trying to demonstrate a conflict warning intersection. So you may have like, a main parish highway and then a crossroad that stops, right? And the main road doesn't cross. So the person that pulls up to the stop sign, they think it's a four-way stop, they pull out, they get T-boned. So if you have like a kind of a problem intersection, you can basically make any sensor flash any other sign. So if I'm coming up here on the main line and Chad's over there, at the cross traffic, and I come up, it'll flash that sign saying, "Hey, cross traffic does not stop." You get it to stop. So, and we can, do the same thing on the main line, warn if there's approaching traffic coming on the sides. And just along those lines, we could just have that radar, for example, on that stop sign, and then it just becomes a radar activated stop sign. So there's three advantages to that primarily. One is if it just activates when the vehicle's approaching, so it kind of gathers their attention, it's like, okay, I see this is something that I need to pay attention to. Two, it kind of saves in solar energy if you've got them solar powered, because they're not flashing all the time. And then three, you don't get the complaints from some of the people in the community, like, I got something flashing at 3 o'clock in the morning near my neighborhood and nothing's going on, it helps. And we manufacture everything in-house, so everything's built in the United States. We manufacture the printed circuit boards, we manufacture the LED components and the surface mount technology. We do everything, so we're able to do some things like if you add a radar mounted sign, it's under $500 to add that radar, where most of our competitors are over $1,000 because they got to buy a third-party radar and add it to their system. But we manufacture our own. So, this is our push-to-cross system. We have it with either the normal push buttons or the audible talking buttons. So it gives them, for the sight impaired, if they push the button.
Yellow lights are flashing.
It'll
Cross with caution. Vehicles with yellow lights are flashing.
Turn that off because it'll drive us nuts. But you can see what I got here is we kind of call it internally our supercross system. So we got the RFB and the flashing sign, and especially when you stand back and you look at it from driving on the street, when you got both those going, it really is amazing. Sometimes I've disconnected one of the flashers just to show people. But some people just buy the ring, some people just buy the RFBs, or you can do them in combo like that. And like I said, we do AC powered, solar powered, that type of stuff. And then the final thing I'll kind of demonstrate over here is we do what we call intelligent warning systems, where we're basically hooking some sort of sensor to the flashing sign system. So it could be like an ice sensor. What I have here is our high water flood warning sensor. So, sorry, I got to kind of step outside to see it. But we don't carry insurance for that, He pushed me. So you can see I got it, this high water sensor in here. When I take that off, after it's done, it's 20 seconds or 30 seconds of how it's long as programmed, it'll stop. But basically, this is a completely solid state sensor, so you just bolt it to some post like that. If we wanted to sense right where, if this water level got above, here, as soon as the water reached that level, it would start the sign to flash. And it's completely solid state. It's just measuring the electrical current that goes through the conductivity of the water. So when we came out with this, people asked us for a couple years, can you come out with some sort of, we love your flashing signs, you guys have the best stuff in the market, but you don't have a flood sensor. Can you come up with something? And we did a lot of research, and people were saying they want to make sure there's no moving parts, because like float tubes were getting stuck. The pressure transducers, it's a little pipe that measures the water pressure. Animals or ants or stuff, were crawling in that, and they weren't working. We live in Charleston. We have a competitive high water warning system right across the street from where we live, and it's flooded like 8 times since we've been there, and it's never gone off. And so this solid state sensor, is what will set the system off. I got a loose cable here.
Let's go.
It's working.
Sorry, is that cable?
That's all.
All right, I got a little just demo set up here that's not typical, but I ran out of room in the trailer, so I had to start putting stuff on the outside. But so it's a really simple design, but it works, and it doesn't have those parts that can get jammed up, so it can provide that warning. And we do ice sensors, we do overheight sensors, so if you've got like a bridge or a railroad track or something, everybody keeps it smacked. We can sense the overheight vehicle, start everything flashing to them. We can combine our sensors, like the radar sensor and the overheight sensor, and now you got it on a dangerous curve. Now you have a truck rollover warning. I'm too high and I'm going too fast, so it'll flash at them. So it's a lot of different things when you kind of see that you could mix and match things. But so you've had talking with Iggy, you use quite a bit of the systems now, and what do you like about the systems that you're using currently?
I like green posts.
You like what?
The green posts. I like this.
Oh, you like the support posts, though?
You can see them put down.
Yeah, well, we don't sell those, unfortunately, but they come with the system. But you can use them. So people do use like U-channel. They use the tubular square posts. We can do round posts. It comes with all the mounting brackets. We have, like, if you go at a round post, they have a little bandit bracket. The only thing we don't provide is the banding that goes around it. And then we just let people, because each everything's different. You know, your soil in Louisiana is different than Michigan, and
Yes.
you know, so you decide, you know, what's the proper mounting structure, but we can mount anything to it.